full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP Morning Show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia. Munson here from expatsportugal.com with a Good Morning Portugal live stream show and podcast. Although I had a few problems with my podcast this morning, I'll sort that out after the show. If you're a podcast listener, fear not. We'll sort that all out over there on Spreaker, that marvelous podcast platform. How are you this morning? Well, I'm pleased to say, or I'm glad to say, I'm having a little bit of a rest for the next 90 minutes sat in this chair. Mrs. M has been working me hard over the weekend. More raised beds, a chicken coop, back garden, looking pretty good, actually. How was your weekend? We go to the south of the country. Look at this. It's fantastic. I saw some fishermen yesterday at, where were we? Salier de Porto. And I never see, like my friend Jay was saying the other day, you never see anyone catch anything. I think they just go there for a bit of a rest, don't they? Do you know anybody who's caught anything from the oceans of Portugal or the Atlantic coast of Portugal with a fishing rod like this? This is a picture from Anna this morning from the south. What's Anna saying? This is, I think, a fishing competition. Hopefully somebody caught something down there. A fishing rod in a competition in Monte Gordo, Fat Mountain. I hope everyone's had a great weekend. Me too. Do please let us know what you've been up to. Is everything sounding and looking all right? I've got some sunshine. I very quickly and hastily had to push myself out from behind the desk and drop the shutters. Something I don't like to do because I really enjoy the sun coming through the window, but it was just too much of it this morning. That's a strange complaint to have, isn't it? How is it where you are? Maybe we should have a quick look at the weather this morning. I think we'll do that. And we'll say hello to everybody who is amassed here this morning. The Gumpers with some new things this morning to share with you. And of course, Migration Monday, we'll be talking to Gilda. Oh, that's a good thing to do, isn't it? Put that on the ticker tape. I have to find that. That's here somewhere. And we are also going to have an update, of course, on this handsome fellow. Look at this official portrait. Look at him. That's Mandela. That's Gilda's wonderful teckle. Are they called teckle dogs? Sausage dog. And she said, Mandela update. So I wonder what that rascal's been up to. People trying to get from Ireland, look at that, was Dublin Airport, 4 a.m., I think, over the weekend. At the beginning of the Easter weekend, people trying to get away from Dublin Airport and queuing out the front door at 4 a.m. This morning. Tourism up 500%, was it? I saw in the local papers. It does sound a little bit different in here. I think my soundproofing is working, but it's throwing me a little bit, I have to say. Yeah, Portugal has opened its doors, isn't it? And hoping for a fantastic tourism season starting this Easter holiday. So let's see what happens. A lot of chaos at airports, certainly in the UK, my native UK, because they're just not used to the volume of people. You can't travel, you can travel. You can't travel, maybe you can travel. You can travel if you do this. Okay, we'll lay everybody off because there's not the demand. Oh, everybody wants to travel again. Oh, we better get some new staff. That's causing a few queues. Is that the same wherever you are in the world this morning and over the weekend, this Easter weekend? Prof. Eusebio. Shall we have a look at Prof. Eusebio's view this morning? He is now in Portugal, everybody. Serra da Estrela. Have you ever wondered what the Serra Estrela looks like or sounds like? More to the point, it's beautiful. Let's just take a little moment to breathe out. So just put this put the excitement down for one moment of this as we go into a new week on this Monday morning. I know it's exciting, isn't it? It's Monday morning, but let's just chill for a moment and extend the weekend, the sort of enjoyment that Prof. Eusebio has been having in Serra Estrela. Check this out. Bit of breathing there. Is that a bit of yogic breathing, Profi? So that's a beautiful view, isn't it, from your veranda there? Fantastic, great. It just feels like you're close by. It feels great to have you on the same terra firma, terra portuguesa now. Fantastic. Is that it? Have you moved here? Let us know, Profi Sabia. How's it going? 5 years to the day. Talking about arriving in Portugal. 5 years to the day I arrived in beautiful Portugal. What an experience I'm having. Enjoy your week, Gumpers. Thank you very much, Owen. First in this morning at 20 past 7. Morning, Owen, and all you lovely Gumpers. Sun's out here. And sun's out here on Plague Island. Oh, stop it. So off to enjoy it while it lasts. Tips on maintaining and proving strength today. Yes, go to 50 Plus Vitality. That's where I discovered my podcast was up this morning. Yeah, a few problems there. But if you do need a bit of meditative help from me, you know where I am. Carl at expatsportugal.com or Carl at carlmunson.com for that sort of thing. 50 Plus Vitality. That's the group, the Vitality in Action program. The serving suggestions for your vitality and fitness continue this morning, and it's for the last week now. We're into week 4, and there are serving suggestions from Victoria, from Cindy B, from this very community, from me and Mrs. M, and Phil, of course, Phil Cookland from this community too. So it's been a lot of fun doing that for you. Do check it out, 50 Plus Vitality on Facebook. A group. Baldylocks also here. Yeah, and as Ian says there, tips on maintaining and improving strength today, and starting to run. If you want to get back into your training shoes, look no further than Coach Turner and the 50 Plus Vitality group. Hola, all you Gumpers. Baldylocks is here. How you doing, mate? And Profi Sabia, there you go. Bon dia, de Perto de Covilla. There he is in Covilla with a Estrella Mountain Ridge. That's what Serra means, isn't it? Ridge. That's the best translation I can find. Sort of mountain ridge edge, and a place of great cheese, great people, all good Portuguese things over there to Covilla, where he is now ensconced, it would appear. Jack Polly is here. Hola, bon dia todos. What a great weekend. And now it rains. Well, that's quite a good way round, isn't it? Maybe a duvet day after a nice weekend. I didn't get much sleep last night. Had a very busy weekend. Went to the cinema in Portugal for the first time in Portugal, and I think for 5 years or so. They've got sound now, haven't they, at the cinema? It's amazing. Thanks, Prof, for that. Today in Portuguese history, should we go straight into that now? Yes, let's do it. Boom. So the first of a couple of features now in the 8:30 to 9 slot, we've got thoughts from the Redwoods coming up as well. An American living in Portugal now with his thoughts on life. But who is he? You'll find out, I don't know, in about 10 minutes' time. Today in Portuguese history, though, because what can we learn from history today? Those who do not remember it are doomed to repeat it. What can we learn today? Today in Portuguese history, thanks to Prof. Eusebio, 1357. The street that I live on is named after this king, João I, Dom João I. Portugal's longest reigning king is born. Glad to find out more about him. Isn't it funny? You can live on a street and that's named after a saint, an explorer, or a king, and really not know much about them. So I'm putting that right today. Thank you to, well, Prof's putting it right. Also called John of Avish. He was king of Portugal from 1385 until his death in 1433. 48 years. Is that old bones? I suppose it is in those days, isn't it? But longest reigning king of Portugal, born today in Portuguese history, 1357. How about that? I think there's more. Oh, yes, he's recognized chiefly for his role in Portugal's victory in a succession war with Castile, preserving his country's independence and establishing the Avish dynasty on the Portuguese throne. There you go. Who doesn't like to be on the Portuguese throne first thing in the morning? For you, if you're on the Portuguese throne this morning, Dom João I there. Thank you very much, Prof. Eusebio. T-Duck's in as well. Bom dia, Grigampas. Lisboa Chavosa. Rainy Lisbon this morning. And loads of quotes. Take it easy. Grab your drink, sit back, and soak these up. These words of wisdom. First, from Wallace Stevens. Human nature is like water. It takes the shape of its container. Oh, I say, Oscar Wilde. Have we heard from Oscar in these outbreaks of wisdom? Oscar Wilde, some wild wisdom here. In war, the strong make slaves of the weak, and in peace, the rich make slaves of the poor. Let me just digest that for a moment. War, strong, yes, and yes. Oscar Wilde. Douglas Adams. If he looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, we have at least to consider the possibility that we have a small aquatic bird of the family and Anatidae. Is that right? Anatidae on our hands. Thank you very much for that, Douglas Adams from T-Duck. And finally, Theodore Geisel. I'm going to go with Dr. Zeus. You know him as. Today was good. Today was fun. Tomorrow is another one. That's pithy and good. We like that. Friday was a big day. Mrs. Duck, yay! Got a driver's license in the mail. But after 342 days, I'm still waiting for my license. All the better for the long wait. Good things come, and driving licenses too for those who wait. T-Duck. Fingers crossed. They could be any time soon. Maybe they're in a similar part of the pile of driving licenses. Bon dia, Carl and friends. Thank you very much for the pictures, Kate. Now this is a lovely lady called Flobella, I think. Flobella. Flobella Gomes. Is a friend of yours, and I've just got some pictures to quickly show because I'm going to do more on this tomorrow. But thank you, St. Catherine, for these. Thunderduck, I bet you were really glad because Brenda does all the driving. Indeed. Does it matter if you've got a driving license or not there, Mr. T-Duck? So look at this. Isn't this charming? Look at this hand-painted unique beauty here. Fado musician. And a roof tile painted here with the famous 28 tram on it, of course. And there she is. Not a brilliant picture of the artist, sadly, but these are the roof tiles that she paints. Flobella Gomes. And I want to talk more about this tomorrow because, of course, you see something like that. I think, oh, that's lovely. I want one of those. How do you buy it? And I think it's time to support. It always has been, but especially now, right? Support the artists. Support the makers. Buy direct from people and their creativity. And how do you do that? Is it on Etsy? Is it on a private website? And we talked about this before, didn't we? About bringing Portuguese crafts together such that they could be bought easily, and so you're not searching for that thing. You're trying to do a Google search on this hand-painted fado musician, Flobella or something like that. Gomes, I'm not sure. Can you imagine trying to track that down? We need a centralized repository of such crafts and art, don't we? Such that you can buy it and support the artist. Let's talk about more on that tomorrow and see how we can support artists like Floribella Gomes. St. Catherine, if you do want to get in touch with her, this is the wife of Catherine's house painter, I think. So if you want to get in touch, you can do that. Ask Kate in the comments this morning. Oh, today in Portuguese history too. 1933, the Portuguese Constitution enacted. The Constitution was introduced by Salazar, establishing the basis of the authoritarian Estado Novo regime. There you go, 1933. And I'm very grateful, says T-Duck. Yesterday was our 31st anniversary. Parabéns! A vocês. And Saturday marked 1 year we've been living in Portugal. What a fantastic weekend for you both then. And of course, T-Duck, we do a radio show on Monday evening at 7:30. I've got a few ideas. I've got a miracles track that I think sums you up perfectly, Thunderduck, tonight. So the passion, the provenance, the production, all that great stuff that makes music that we love. The passion, that's the other P, isn't it? Tonight, 7:30, T-Duck and me on the Bubble Off Centre radio show and on an internet near you, as they say. The British Embassy, prior to the Constitution, back to world history for a moment, today in Portuguese history and Portuguese history, the British Embassy, prior to the Constitution, reported, generally speaking, this novel Constitution is receiving the marked approval which it deserves. It has a certain fascist quality in its theory. Hold on a minute, there's more of this. What? No, you can't leave us with a cliffhanger like that. That sounds like it should continue. That quote is not closed, is it there, Prof? I'm hoping there's more to that. So we begin, generally speaking, this novel constitution, it sounds so British, doesn't it? Meanwhile, in Portugal, generally speaking, this novel constitution is receiving the marked approval which it deserves. It has a certain fascist quality in its theory, and then it ends there. Telegram ends. Hopefully there's more to that to come. Chris Smith is here. Good morning, Chris. How you doing? And look, Darren Riles here as well. Maybe they're trying to figure out if thunder or duck is the surname for the license. Yes, Senor Pato on that license, please. Well, I walk like a duck and quack like a duck. I don't see what the problem could be. Yes, he does, actually. I've seen that. I've seen that in my own experience. Sick today, so can't stay long. Oh, just wanted to say hello to all. And Magnus says hi to Carl Munson. He likes it when you say hi to him. Oh, that's so sweet. Magnus, good boy. Darren's going to give you a treat now, okay? Morning, Darren. Morning, Magnus. And morning, Tech Cowgirl as well. Carlos M. Bon dia, meus amigos. Good morning to you, Carlos. How are you doing? And Carlos M. staying up late just to say hi to all the Gumpers. Very good of you. Thank you, Carlos M. Hasn't gone unnoticed, and we really appreciate it. Sam Nazare in Australia. Hey, Gumpers. Possibly staying up late, but not really. I mean, way ahead of us and not needing to observe the same sort of time zone mind-bending stuff as you, Carlos M. Jean's here as well. Hola, boa madrugada. Happy dawn. Do fria. The cold dawn of Westwood, New Jersey. Great to have your company, Jean. How are you doing? Kids, this isn't the end, is it, of that of the British Embassy's remarks on the Constitution, the novel Constitution. Kids, I think they buried Dad too deep in the sand. What does that refer to? That was actually, we did go to the beach. Oh, I see. That's the caption for this. There we go. Kids, I think they buried Dad too deep in the sand. Very good. Very quick, Prof. Thank you for that. And Deagle's here. Bon dia. Carl, Felice, Pascal. Are the Gumpers feeling Eastery yet? Now, what does that feel like? Slight bloating from too much chocolate. And of course, you know, depending on your religious persuasion, of course, you will have different kinds of Eastery feelings. Let me know. Don't let me second guess that. You tell me. I always feel it is very unloved, Easter, compared to Christmas and Halloween. I think you're right. I think you're right that Easter is quite unloved compared to Christmas and Halloween. Or maybe it's just that the marketing men haven't got the angle they want on it yet. I don't even think pop stars sing Easter songs. Can we put that right? Can we put that right? We've really enjoyed. What's your favorite Portuguese tune at the moment? We've really been enjoying Abatupe, 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 abatupe. That really put a spring in our step here. So can we get that re-recorded in an Easter style or other Easter Portuguese tunes? What are you listening to at the moment? Please let me know. Has that idea got legs from Deagle there? Bon dia, Alegria Gumpers from Cindy B. Great to talk to you over the weekend, Cindy. That's a great idea, isn't it, that we're talking about there? And Matty too. Hola, bon dia, Alegria. Todos de Amsterdam, Soleiro. So, hold on a minute. Has he got that right now? He has, hasn't he? No, or has he? No, he's being cheeky, and he's talking about the palatial Amsterdam and not the sunny one, I think. Just another earthling living in a new location. I think that's Banana Slug, isn't it? Changing his name, different. He's like Prince. Different. The artist formerly known as Banana Slug is now. Is that some sort of weird acronym that he is working on there? I've got to be so careful sometimes, haven't I? Here, lovely proof. Oh, lovely prof. Very relaxing start to the week, isn't it? That scene of the Serra Estrella there. Fantastic. And Pam's in as well with a bon dia and a simple sunflower. Thank you very much. Means so much, doesn't it? Now, the sunflower emblem. Thank you very much, Pam. Good morning to you. Now, I sent you the link to the Silver Coast meetup, somebody wanting that. I've got over 50 people in that now. Folks, in the Silver Coast meetup group, it's one of those WhatsApp situations. It's meant to be announcements for the Silver Coast meetup venue and that sort of thing. And now we're talking about hybrids of bluegrass and death metal in there. How do you manage WhatsApp groups in the way that meets the needs of all those in them? They can be infuriating, can't they? Oh, my phone is ringing. No, it's just 300 people talking on WhatsApp again. Bon dia, Gumpers. Feliz segunda, todos. A bit late preparing. What? He's plotting and working. Yeah, where are you? James, come on. We need you. Hurry up, lad. Susie's here. Happy Monday, Gumpers. And to Mandela. You got to hit that window, James, because we have Gilda, of course, at 9 o'clock. Kathy's here as well. Bon dia, everyone. Monday again already. You make a very good point there, Kathy. Is time, I say this every Monday, don't I? Is time speeding up? And how would we know? How can we measure that? It's 168 hours or thereabouts since we were last here in this condition. But it does seem to be getting faster, doesn't it? What's this? Cauliflower crust, minimal sauce, both mixed with pineapple too, please. Sleep deprivation, I think. Sleep deprivation for Darren. unless there was something I missed there. Serra mountain range, yes, of course, but it's like serration, isn't it? Isn't there a Latin root? No, Serra, edge, serration, Serra Estrella, the starry mountain range. Isn't that lovely? And Dimitri Martin quote of the day, damn it, I'm mad! And damn it, I'm mad spelt backwards. It is as well, isn't it? It's a palindrome. Damn it, I'm mad is damn it, I'm mad spelled backwards. That's amazing. And Rebel Mama's here as well. Hola, Mosush. Had a blast visiting with my UK friends here. I love 30-year-olds. Lots of fun. But can't manage a whole one. Okay, right, Rebel Mama, stand by. Everybody stand by, because we've got a new feature. On after this is a certain American gentleman now living in Portugal with his thoughts on life for you. We're going to do this every Monday. Let's get, hold on, before we do, let me just play this. What a lovely bit of music, and what a lovely gentleman we have on the screen with us this morning. James, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. And the thing is, of course you're there. We can see you there, but I was wondering if we could hear you. And we can hear you loud and clear. So message from the Redwoods, thought from the Redwoods. You're working on a range of different names this morning. We know and love you as we know and love you as James in Ericeira. Who recently, well, not recently, a few months in now from arriving from Santa Cruz in California.
6 months.
6 months, a legend as well, already within our community. And I saw somebody tracked you down on Facebook over the weekend. I found you. I need to speak to you. You are this resource to people. You're also the banana slug. And what's your new name today?
I was inspired by Jenny was it last Friday? Anyway, she was talking about, we briefly went over immigration or immigrant versus expat. And she said she was an earthling. And I said, okay, so what can I come up with? So I came up with earthling living in a new location.
Well, that trips off the tongue beautifully, doesn't it? And you are
ELNL.
That could be worse. And you are here this morning because we had a little chat, didn't we? I see you as our sort of resident pastoral, caring, empathic, good guy who is a stand for our happiness and well-being and peace of mind here in the Gumper community. And I thought, well, let's get James on a Monday morning and see what he's been thinking. See what no pressure or anything, but what words of wisdom do you have for us? And I don't know if it's fair to do this, but I make the comparison to you and Mr. What's he called? Mr. the icon
Rogers
of America.
is who, yes.
Yeah, he's our very own Mr. Rogers, taking care of that part of our psyche. And I thought, why not do this on a Monday morning? Perfect. You know, if anyone's feeling a little bit downbeat or blue on a Monday morning, who better than to just tee off the week in a light-hearted and wholehearted way than you, sir. So what have you got for us this morning?
Well, first, I'd like to premise this by, I have often said to people that you wouldn't want to be wandering around in my brain. Because I pretty much have thoughts all the time about everything. So for me to sort through it and say what's coming to the top can be a challenge.
Yep.
Case in point is I had a thought that I was going to talk about today, and I woke up this morning with a thought about having thoughts and how might that be different. And anyway, that's how my brain starts. And so I'm pretty much winging it today. The thought that came in my effort to be in the present moment and go with the flow and trust myself with that. I had the first thought that came to me as I was preparing for today was, who am I? Like, who am I to be doing this? And then I said, well, that could sound a bit self-deprecating, you know, like you don't believe in yourself. And that's not it. And the question really more deeply was, who am I as a human being that would be someone who would be doing this thing called Thoughts from the Redwoods? And going from there, I'll just share what I wrote this morning on the fly. I'm not quite sure. I want to do some spontaneous, just what I'm doing now, but I also tend to organize my thoughts in writing. So let me share what I wrote, and then we can carry on from there.
Sure.
I awoke this morning with thoughts of my debut of this Thoughts from the Redwoods concept. And my next thought was a question: who am I? Not particularly profound or original, but deeply personal. Who am I to share my thoughts with others? Who is this I who was invited to do so? What thoughts do I have that might be valuable or helpful to others? Even my questions had questions. So, being who I am, I began searching for answers to my questions. In that moment, I realized that this was at least one answer to my question about who I am. I am someone who seeks to answer his own questions. And suddenly I had the thought, maybe this is what I should talk about today. Answering our own questions. We all have our own answers if we're willing to look and trust and listen. And that's my thinking on that was that would be the reason that I would want to present this, is to provide that little nugget that I have lived with for quite a while. This I believe, this I practice, this answers my questions. I am someone who is always curious about what it is to be human, and who consistently and intentionally looks within to answer my own questions. I am someone who is open, vulnerable, transparent about myself, and willing to share myself and my experience with others. I am someone who desires and chooses to share my thoughts with others if it is invited and could be valuable and helpful to others. I am someone who gets invited to do this on the Good Morning Portugal show. This is who I am, at least in this moment. So I ask you, who are you? That's what I've came up with the 15 minutes
Yes.
ago.
Well, no, I love that, and we will do this. We'll do this in this slot on a Monday morning with a little bit of insight, a delve into the psyche with you. I think that, a safe pair of hands on the tour bus of our psyche. But
I wouldn't go that far.
but we will find out. And you, of course, to a little bit of background. You work in psychotherapy, and you help people. Right? You help you have a lifelong interest in helping and supporting people and asking such questions on a professional basis. And God knows, James, in this time, there is great introspection, isn't there? There is a great amount of craziness too, and those two can go together, can't they?
I think it's valuable. I think introspection is important, if not necessary. And what I have found in my profession, and also with everything that goes on in the world, is people are looking for answers, and they tend to look outside of themselves for answers. And what I have found in my practice, particularly working with individuals who are being challenged by their own personal circumstances, that we have the answers. I think we've been taught somewhere not to trust them, or not to believe that we are experts on ourselves or whatever it is, and we tend to look to others for the answers. So as a therapist, I have most of my clients approach me at some point, with some form of what's the answer, and I always frustrate them by saying, only you know that. And then we talk about it more, but it's like, don't give me that cliche. It's like, it's a cliche because it's truth. So
yeah, it's what you pay me for. So that's what you pay me for.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here. You're paying me to reflect back to you what it is you're throwing at me.
Yeah. Okay.
And with some expertise, I'm hoping, but yes.
Absolutely. Well, great. What a fantastic theme to kick off with, then, that we have the answers within us, and there's no harm in a little bit of introspection, and perhaps, I don't know, dialing down this need to find everything out there, and taking a little bit of a look within, right, as we start the week.
Absolutely. Yes. And
okay.
that's proven helpful to me. So I'm hoping it will prove helpful to others.
A fabulous debut, I think, as you Americans say. Here
Debut.
on
We'll say debut.
debut on this
Yes.
on this, first message from the Redwoods from the banana slug himself. And I heard a funny thing about Mr. Rogers. I heard some people talking about aging at the end of last week, and this woman said, Megyn Kelly, I think, possibly a controversial character in America, I don't know, but she says, you know you're aging when you find Mr. Rogers hot. So would you agree with that? I'm not
I
asking
think
you if you.
so.
I'm not asking you if you find Mr. Hot.
Yeah, I've of the infinite thoughts I've had, and this might be a topic for another Monday, but what is wisdom? And the short answer I've come up with is the combination of knowledge and experience, something along that line. And
Yes.
that very often that comes with a long life, right?
Yes,
it takes a while to get there, usually. Although there are some
Yep.
incredibly wise young people, so I'm not sure how that fits in, but
Indeed.
old souls
No,
or something.
Get the gist for sure. And yeah, they say age never comes alone, and hopefully wisdom is the one. Hopefully, fingers crossed, wisdom is one of the things that it brings. James, fantastic. Thank you so much. Already looking forward to talking with you again next Monday with your next message from the Redwoods. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. I'll see
Okay,
you all
bye
in the
for now.
comments.
He's going back into the comments in a psychotherapeutic and social way. Cheers, James. Bye for now. There he goes. There he goes. You can talk to James, of course, in the comments, and he'll be back next Monday with another message from the Redwoods. I didn't realize how difficult it would be to say that. A message from the Redwoods. Next Monday with reflections on life and maybe aging as well. So Darren's off now having a hot cup of Yorkshire tea. That's amazing. And you can buy Taylor's tea if anyone needs to know in Canada as well. But that's a what would that be? A tradition or a habit I thoroughly approve of, Darren, drinking Yorkshire tea. Got Brooke Bond myself here this morning, which I'm very pleased with. So we have Gilda just limbering up. You know Gilda, of course, from A, and that wonderful picture that Chris prepared. I'm going to find out what the name of this series is again, but here she is at work, standing in the boardroom. Let's go to her now, shall we? Gilda Pereira from A. How are you this morning, Gilda?
Hello, good morning.
You well, tudo bem?
I didn't mess up this morning.
I like how you put that. You've owned it, right? Because it was a user error, wasn't it? We could say from last week.
No, it was mine.
It was yours. It was yours. Okay, and fair enough. Because we were doing all we possibly could to help you at this end, and I think it was just a simple matter of you couldn't see the wood for the trees, and there's probably a similar Portuguese phrase to sum that up last week. But it's great to have you in all your glory this week. One thing we might start with after we've made sure everybody's okay at the A office, of course, and to see if anybody's got any questions, is this relationship between Portugal and China. Portugal PM Antonio Costa wants more cooperation with China, he says, and we'll come back to that and talk about it and see what everybody's thinking. But how is everything? Any news from Seth? Any news from the office? I know we've got a Mandela update.
From the office, everything is fine. We managed to got some visas approved from the Middle East, and we celebrate a lot because it was some investment visas, and those were quite good investments to open a business here to represent a good brands, but they were denied. Because they were from Middle East, and you know there is a little bit of how should I say I don't know the word in like a little bit of xenophobia. Hey Marty, I would like to know if I can share our picture. Let me know.
Gilda, what did you just say? Xenophobia. What does that mean?
You know, there is something. It's something. You know, when you have something against this some people.
Yes. We'll come back to that.
It's smart thing to say. But and sometimes they tend to say no. They always tend to say no to this
like
kind of people from the Middle East.
A prejudice.
Yes,
possibly.
a prejudice. Yeah.
Okay.
So and then we work on the appeal, and they, of course, according to the law, they could not say no. And we work on the appeal, and they said yes, they approved. And it was not just one visa; it was a couple of visas, and we were very happy. So we celebrated a lot, and it's very grateful when we see things happening like that. And we also got our first visa from Nigeria approved. That is something that is very difficult. It took us like 9 months to happen.
Wow.
Something that should be 3 months maximum. But we got it. So lots of victories for A.
That's great news. Congratulations. Well done, everybody involved in that. Those sound like protracted processes and some challenging going on there of the system. So well done, everybody involved in that. And congratulations to the individuals involved. Great news. Any news from Seth? Second extinction attempt is in process now, isn't it? I believe. Looking at the. I mean, that's what they're calling it, aren't they? They're making it extinct. And a phoenix will rise from the ashes. And processes are in place now to retrain the staff and have those police officers becoming part of the team.
I think that now with the new government, they are rethinking of how they are going to do things. Because the first plan, I was sure that it was not going to work out. Mm. Okay, it was impossible to work out. People didn't know what they were going to do, and it was impossible for that people to know what to do. Even for the safe people, it's already too much of the law for them to learn, and they don't have much people that study law to understand about it. So and sometimes we need to help the attendees, to understand the law. That's why it's important not to go alone, because sometimes we need to say, no, this is the article, and then they go and they check, and oh yeah, you're right, you're correct. So I don't think, and these people work there for a long time. Yeah. So if you put people that never worked at CEF, it's like going back and start everything from the beginning, and it's going to be very hard for everybody.
Yes, of course. So we're in that process, and just beware of that, everybody. So much going on that is causing a potential problem for this redevelopment of CEF. But come here every Monday to have your migration questions answered by Gilda, the best in the business, along with the team of many all over the country. 20 plus in the team, I think, based all around Portugal, helping people all over the world. Ruth Rocha, and I found over the weekend that Rocha means stone, doesn't it? Because I went to the cinema, and Dr. Stone is Dr. Rocha, of course. I went to see Sonic 2. Going to the cinema in Portugal is great, Gilda. I'd not been before in the 4 years that I've been here.
Really?
Yes, I know. It was really good fun. Took the kids to a late night viewing, and we had a great time. Something to eat beforehand. Often in Portugal, the cinemas are associated with a shopping mall, aren't they? So that's what we did in Caldas de Rainha at the weekend. We had a great time. So yeah, Dr. Rocha, it was good. It was helpful too. I did watch. I must confess and say I went to watch the original voiceover, but we were able to pick up a bit of Portuguese because of the subtitles, of course. Bom dia de uma manhã chuvosa em Coimbra. I love Today in History. Thank you. Ruth Rocha, me too. Prof, there you go. You're listening, Prof. Lots of love for you there. Today in Portuguese history. And today, Gilda, we learned about Dom João I. And I know Portuguese children, they love to learn about they don't love to necessarily, but they do learn about the kings and queens.
Yeah. Can we ask Marty if we can show the picture that we took at the office?
Marty, can we show the picture that we took at the office? Because I think you had a good time. I saw Gilda last week at the A office, and she is even more beautiful in person. Look at that. I brought her a chocolate bunny and healthy snacks. I think I know which got eaten first, but but which did she choose? You don't have to answer yet, Gilda, okay? But I
had the bananas and the strawberries.
Yeah, whatever. Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
You did. Good for you. I thought I was going to ask you if you're the sort of person who nibbles the ears or the tail first of the bunny. But no, the bananas and the strawberries. Good for you. Did she eat the bunny or did her staff? So the staff got the bunny.
The staff got the bunny.
Staff got the bunny. Can we show the lovely picture, please, Marty? Do let us know in the chat. Yes, you can show the picture. So we do. We should get permission, of course, and we have. And there it is. There's Marty, and I can only say Mrs. Marty, right?
Yeah.
And you in the middle there, sporting your pearls on this particular day, and a turtleneck. Not afraid of the turtleneck either. I'm glad to see that. Me neither. Me neither. Okay, so first question in Bon dia, Gilda. I have two questions. One, I have a golden visa. Oh, no, not I have. Have golden visas been stopped? Certainly not, Kathy. In my A consultation on Friday, I was told they have stopped, and there must be some misunderstanding here, right? That's not right, is it?
No, they have not been stopped. Only the rules have been changed.
Okay, rules have been changed slightly, Kathy. So I think we perhaps need to get you back talking.
Yeah, let me know who told you that.
Okay, and we'll sort that out. Anything else we can do for you, Kathy? Do let us know. Hey, Gilda. Hey, Gilda. User error is always the best, cheap and simple to fix, and you always remember it. Great to see you this morning. So more of a comment than a question there. What else have we got this morning? Lots of people saying hello, which is great. 9 hours ahead in Australia at 5:45 p.m. Thank you for that. You can see I was struggling to articulate that earlier on, Sam, but 5:45 in Australia at the moment. I don't know why they're talking about cauliflower crust this morning, Gilda. I've never had that myself. Serra Estrela, we showed a lovely video of Serra Estrela mountain range this morning. Do you ever get over that way?
Yeah.
You do. It's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, it's really very, very different. I mean, if anyone is under the mistaken apprehension or comprehension of Portugal as being like the Algarve or Lisbon or Porto, and that's it, you get another view of Portugal altogether at the Serra Estrela. And I think at certain parts of it, you even have snow up there, and that's where the Vodafone ski ranges as well, isn't it? For those times when it does snow, and there's a little bit of skiing to do in Portugal.
And for the kids, it's very funny because it's little, and because when this Vodafone skiing for the kids is very funny because it's very little and they can learn. Oh,
very good, manageable then, a starter slope. Yeah. Perhaps. Okay. Kia Lily Mlongo is here. Good morning, everyone from South Africa this morning. How are you, my friend? Great to see you here. I don't need a Portuguese throne. I've got enough on my porcelain throne each day. Thank you, Matty. The Germans are always very open about their bowel health. Is my experience. I think that's what he's saying. Anyway, did you enjoy learning about the kings and queens of Portugal, Gilda, when you were at school? Was it a vital part?
I did.
Yeah, it's a very important part, and I'm glad to hear that the Portuguese teach the children about the royal family and the royal lineage. I unlove all holidays. Oh, lol, except maybe Samhain. That one features candy. I'm not sure that's the idea, Rebel Mama. I haven't celebrated any for over 30 years, just normal days to me. I do find them interesting. Well, yes, there must be something behind it all. We're going into Easter, aren't we, of course, Gilda? What should we know about celebrating Easter in Portugal, if you will?
They eat cute animals.
What?
They eat cute animals.
That's what we should know about Easter?
Yeah.
Okay. There are other... That's not quite what I was expecting. Okay, we can come back to that. Gary Orkos, bon dia on it was Palm Sunday yesterday, wasn't it? Bon dia on a lovely Monday morning. Thank you, Gary. How are you doing over there in the UK? Yes, I would totally buy one of those. I will send you a pic of art I bought from a local artist. Okay, so we're going to talk about that more tomorrow, how we can support local artists and craftspeople. What was being talked about was one of these. Isn't that lovely? Hand painted by an artist here on the Silver Coast, this lady here, Floribela. We should find out more about her and how artists can sell their works here in Portugal tomorrow. So thanks, Rebel Mama, for your support there. Big boy Crypto Pants is in. Bon dia, Gumpers. Are you hearing anything? Are you laughing at his name there, Gilda? I think you are smiling.
No, I already know him. I already answered some questions for him.
Okay. Now, any news there on whether Portugal will tax crypto gains, or is that just all quiet for the time being?
No, it's quiet. So I think that you know that there was a big convention in I think it was in Miami last week about the cryptocurrency, and there many Portuguese lawyers went there.
Did they?
Yeah, to attract people to come to Portugal because it's foreseen that the law it's not going to change. They are just like pretending like they don't know, to attract people to come to Portugal. So, big boy Crypto Pants, I think the time to come to Portugal is now.
I love it when you say his name. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about crypto in here. And I wonder, do the government, is it a purposeful policy of them saying, well, clearly, this is a great place to come, and all these crypto people seem to like coming here. We're going to encourage this, and it's a tactical, strategic policy, or have they just not got around to doing anything about it? Which
no, they just pretend it's not happening. It doesn't exist.
So it's not tactical or strategic or anything like that. It's a little quirk and loophole.
Well, at the end it is, but they don't say anything, so it doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, all right. So let's hope that continues then. Big boy Crypto Pads and your community, the crypto and blockchain people. Let's hope that lasts for a long time and you get those benefits that people are loving Portugal for. So let's start planning on celebrating your 1 year anniversary. Yes, indeed. James saying 6 months last Saturday for me here. And actually, just to let you in to a little secret, Cindy B and I were talking about rituals and celebrations, and how when you're new, when you're an expat immigrant, when you're coming into a country as a foreigner, you might lose touch with some of the things. Well, there might be new things to celebrate, and there might be things you don't know how to celebrate, and you may be away from your community and that sort of thing. So we're talking about how we might honor such things as a 1 year celebration, and all sorts of things to celebrate, and things that we don't know how to celebrate. So we're going to find out, and we're going to create some sort of support or network for that. Gilda, are there any things that come to mind from that point of view about how people celebrate their first year here, their 5 years here, their 10? I mean, they must come back to you and want you to be part of some of those celebrations sometimes.
Well, they always celebrate when they get the resident permits.
Of course, and that involves drinking, presumably. I mean, but do people go any further than the bar or bringing you a box of chocolates on that day?
Yeah, they send me videos sometimes singing and dancing.
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
and we can't show those, unfortunately, without their permission. But yes, because let's have a few ideas, folks, in the chat this morning, because you could go to the 25 de Abril Bridge, couldn't you? And you could go up to the top of that because there's a tourism attraction there, and you could go up there and you could celebrate, couldn't you, and take a few selfies. You could go down to the Algarve, to your favorite beach. You could go up to the iconic bridge in Porto, and you could be there and have your photograph taken. And then there are other rituals that we could develop for celebrating our residency and our first years and those sorts of things in our 10 years. And
then your nationality,
all of these things I think are worthy of greater acknowledgement and celebration. So let's see what we can do about that. Yeah, so Marty, then, aforementioned, is in Braga and enjoying it, I think. How's it going? Have you met up with that Vitor Costa fella yet, Marty? Bon dia, Gumpers, from Sarah, who's in Stubble. Ron is here as well. Ron in Cascais. He tends to come on a Monday when he knows you're here, Gilda. 42 sleeps till I'm back in Portugal with the Minister of Home Affairs. Belfast Airport better get security sorted. Well, you'd think 42 days is enough time to do that, Deagle. Larandinha has practically become my Portugal theme song. That and the GMP closing tune. Yes, we could never get rid of the whistling, right? Jean, thank you for mentioning that. Do you know that one that she's talking about there? Larandinha?
No.
not familiar with that one. Let's have a link to that then, please, Gene. How does one get the link to the Silver Coast meetup group? Do you know what? I will take the risk of popping that into the comments right now. Like I said, over 50 people and really interesting conversations about death metal and bluegrass hybrid music. Not sure about. We may have to have some ground rules. How do you manage WhatsApp groups, Jill? Do you know the sort of thing where you think, okay, I'll join that to keep updated? And then there's always one person, isn't there, in a WhatsApp group who insists on telling the group what they're having for dinner every hour. And you think, I can't do it. I can't be dealing with this. I'm gonna have to leave this group if this person doesn't stop. Any tips for managing that?
Well, it's. I had problems before, but now I just when I see it's that kind of person, I just don't read it anymore.
Beware that person. Andy Hyde from Norfolk, Suffolk border. Wife still going crazy to move to Portugal. Now selling furniture. Can you imagine? Andy gets home at night and he's thinking to himself, I know what I'll do. I'll go home and sit on the sofa, watch telly and open a beer. It's a bit stressful at the moment. Gets home and a sofa's been sold so that they can move to Portugal. Happy wife, happy life, Andy. Do as she tells you and move to Portugal. Hi, James. I'm from Soquel, California. There you go. Sandra, seeing you doing the message from the Redwoods there. It is hard to say that. A message from the Redwoods, James and Sandra. Happy to see you there. Also from California. Is that Myers-Briggs personality type? I think was the comment to you, James, there, that you were articulating your ENLN or whatever. We'll come back to that. I'm pretty sure everyone always has thoughts all the time. Well, do they? Do you have a busy mind, Gilda? I suspect you do.
I do have a busy mind.
Yes. I don't think everyone does, though. I like to think I don't think too much. And catch myself when I'm doing it. I think we think too much, don't we, us human beings? You could argue that's why we're in the trouble we're in. Bon dia todos from Antonio F. Good morning to you, Antonio. And a question, I think, Susie Q. Bon dia, Gilda. Husband will apply for family reunification. His mum is unwell. Sorry to hear that, Susie Q. He is in the US now. Will come back and apply here in Portugal. Does not want to be in US permanently. Rules on living. Can you make sense of that? Because, rules on living to visit his mum again, etc. Thanks. Do we need more information on that one, Gilda?
I assume that Susie has a residency visa or a resident permit by now, so he can travel back and forward with the marriage certificate, with an apostille and a copy of her resident visa and or resident permit, and explain the situation. And if he has how do you say relatório, a doctor's paper from the mom.
Okay, yes.
It will be even better.
Okay. So that will help there, Susie Q. Leaving, sorry. I wonder. I don't think it was something you said there, Gilda. That might be the end of that particular question. So Susie Q, let us know if that's the sort of info you were hoping for there, and elaborate further if you haven't got the answer you're looking for this morning here, where we talk to Gilda every Monday morning, Migration Monday with Gilda. James, you are wise beyond your ears. Sorry, your ears. Your years there. Okay, let's get a little bit of an update on this rascal then, shall we? Before we answer more questions, Gilda. What's going on with this handsome chap? I mean, the first thing to say is it looks like he's had an official, a portrait done. Is that for the community here? Mandela's official.
That's my husband just took there, and he takes good pictures.
He does.
Okay, so you look at him, and he just seems so cute, right?
Yes.
And do you remember last week when, or the week before, when I told him that I couldn't leave the home? I had to leave him with a nanny, so I could leave the home. And you were like, And you were
Yeah.
like, oh, that's too much, blah, blah, blah. So
Boy.
he's controlling your life. He's getting spoiled. You know, and I was thinking, yeah, maybe Carl is right. Maybe I'm spoiling him too much. So this Saturday, I went out for lunch with my family, and he stayed at home. And I closed the door, and he was in the living room. And when we arrived, the door was just destroyed.
Oh no!
But yeah, completely destroyed. It looked like there was a bear inside the living room.
Amazing.
You know, yeah. He destroyed with the nails. He destroyed with the mouse. He beat the door. You know, it was completely destroyed. So I don't know what to do.
Well, let's see what people suggest with that. I mean, dogs are very destructive. Like I said, I was in the garden for a lot of the weekend with Mrs. M's getting me building raised beds and a chicken enclosure and stuff like that. And we were looking at a raspberry plant, I think, and it looked like it had wilted. And our dog Jimmy Chew, and the clue is in the name here, Gilda. Jimmy Chew had chewed through the bottom part of the plant, killing the top part of the plant, just for the fun of it. He is not really a sociopath. That's probably a bit extreme, but this is what they do. He's 2 years of age. He's over 2. So this you have to kind of go through it, Gilda, I'm afraid. And this is not what you're expecting, and certainly not what you're expecting of a sweet creature that looks like this. Right? Maybe he's got some sort of superpower that he hulks out when you go out, and he turns into a bear. And that's why that's what it looked like. That's why it looked like the damage created by bear. Any animal psychology tips, please, for leaving spoiled little Mandela on his own, such that he won't destroy the entire house by the time the Pereira family get back from their visits out. So what have you decided to do? You keep hiring the nanny for when you go out?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. That's one solution. Aviva is here, 2 a.m. Bon dia. It's really good to work with a so far.
Great.
Long may it continue there, Aviva. Thank you for staying up late as well. If you've got any questions of Gilda, I'm sure she'll be happy to answer them. Seth's last working day will be May the 11th. So the extinction takes place officially snuffed out on May the 11th. On the 12th, they will start working as APMA, taking part of Seth's task there. So thank you, Antonio. Are you an insider there, Antonio? I wonder.
Maybe
he is. Snobbery, maybe. This was accounting for why you'd had some trouble with some of the cases you were working on there, I think. And congratulations, Gilda, on just working through those and not taking no for an answer. I think that's what Michelle's getting at there. Deagle's asking a question. Is there passenger problems at airports like here in Ireland and Britain, entry and exit, awful delays as tourism awakens after 2 years of COVID restrictions? How is that for the Americans at the moment or anywhere else, anywhere around the world? Bon dia, Gilda. So we did that first part of your question, but I think there's more. Question 2 from Kathy. If 3 family members come together, can the pension of one person be used for everyone? Oh, good question. If it is 3 times the amount needed. So can the income come from one person if it covers all 3 people?
Yes, it can.
There you go. Good answer. Yeah. Thank you, Gilda. I will email you with details of my consultation last Friday. So going back to the golden visa business, that's good. Easter egg hunt is a great holiday thing. Not a single sniff of religious significance yet, everybody, when we're talking about Easter. In case you didn't know, yes, its origins are in Christianity, among other ways of worshipping this great life in which we're involved. There's an amazing rainbow over San Martino. I can't see it over San Martino right now. Take a picture, Chris, and send it in. 913-590-303, the number you can see on the screen there. Yes, Easter egg hunt. I forgot about those. I prefer the pagan aspect of holidays. Tell us more, Rebel Mama. Tell us more about that pagan aspect. I have been celebrating getting my permit all week. There you go. So the celebrations have continued for Cindy B there for residency. I hope the crypto situation stays the same. I would love to move and benefit the country with all my newfound crypto gains. Yes, indeed, because all these crypto millionaires and billionaires like Sam, even though they're not paying capital gains, will be spending all that money.
Yeah.
Won't they? Here in Portugal, of course. And every time they spend anything that has added value tax on it, 23%. So they are contributing, even though not in the capital gains way. Sam Nazare, is there a way to secure crypto, such as turning it into cash and taking it out? Or is it like gambling where it could just disappear? I don't know how it all works. Well, Rebel Mama, you make a very good question there. And it's about time we had a crypto refresher. Anybody listening who would want to come on and do that? We did have a kind of Satoshi Nakamoto type person who came on a long time ago, and they kept their identity secret, did not reveal themselves on the screen, and told us a little bit about crypto. Anyone want to do that and answer questions like that from Rebel Mama there? And of course, Rebel Mama, let's not forget that turning it into cash would make it safe, because sometimes cash and its spending power can all disappear as well. Not wanting to worry anybody, but nothing what except gold perhaps is safe as an asset that you can trade without fluctuation. Good morning, everyone from Gemini this morning. Thank you, Gemini. Great to have you here. And look at this. We love you, Gilda. You're so special. Thank you for all the help that you give all of us there. Thank you very much. Keep it alive. And a firmer of the Gilda as well. The WhatsApp group for the Silver Coast, I think I've given you the right link. You could be joining a different group there. Try it, see what happens. Absolutely, Rebel Mama from Sam. Either hold it in stable coins, the crypto equivalent of US dollars, there you go, or withdraw it to fiat currency bank account. Okay, so there you go. And Zero sleeps to Lisboa. Andrew on his way back to the country that he loves. Mashkara, what does that mean, do you think, from Maxine? Is that just a reminder? We don't have to wear masks when you're on a Zoom call, do you? I don't think. That's not a point of order. I think we're socially distanced here, Maxine. We're going to be fine. It's going to be fine here. She is now on a NIF hunt. What's this? There's some this is the wife. This is the wife, Mrs. Hyde. She's selling the furniture and she's looking for a NIF number. And it looks like Andy doesn't know what that means. So Mrs. Hyde says, Andy, we've got to get our NIFs. And Andy's thinking, what? You've just sold the sofa. What now? What is a NIF? Let's go back to basics, Gilda. What is a NIF number for? And why do people need them?
You need a NIF number. It's a tax identification number, and you need the NIF to start the process to move to Portugal, because you will need it to open a bank account, which is needed to start the process, and then you will need also to rent an apartment.
Okay, and it is the basis of, I mean, it's not just you, Andy, and Mrs. Hyde that will need a NIF number. All Portuguese citizens have a NIF number, and it is through which they make their tax calculation, isn't it? It's a record of spending, and it's how you get your tax relief as well once you become a Portuguese resident. So there you go. Hope that helps, Andy. When are the Silver Coast meetups? Gilda, I hope you'll join us one day. Wednesday afternoons between 1 and 3. Generally speaking, San Martino de Porto. They have been so far.
You have to text me, because I cannot catch up this information. You need to text me in advance, and then I'll go.
All right, be like that. I'm finding the visa application process too labyrinthine. Good word. Here in Washington, D.C., says Suzanne Deringer. The consulate doesn't answer phones, and they're only open a couple of days of the week. You email them, and they refer you to, where's the rest of this? Hold on, to a visa. You've got the answer here. To a visa processing firm. I assume you have to get the NIF before applying for the permit. This also has to go through an outside firm. Everything seems indirect and complex until
you find me.
Yes, there you go. Come on, Suzanne. Get with the program here. Get with the A program here. Gilda's email address is on the screen there. Gilda.pereira@aimigrant.pt. There you go. For you, Suzanne. That will help, I think. Faja Dodia, Misha Paris should have known better. Now, this collaboration with Omar was amazing. The bass line and the mix, quick mix between a cappella and rhythm, funky bass and soul mix. Great stuff. Thank you very much. Chris, keeper of the likes. Smash those likes. Now, I did make a little like smashing button somewhere. Have I got that video? Actually, we do have thoughts all the time, constantly. I just heard a podcast. Well, that's official then. Okay, we do have thoughts all the time, constantly. Foof. What does that mean? I wonder. Time for some dog training. Oh, I think that's probably that's a woofie there. Time for some dog training. You don't sound like you like the idea of that.
I like.
Okay, Gilda, you need to train him to be. Oh, look, can you bear to do this? Can you bear to put him in a kennel crate and put him in there when you leave? Look at your face, Gilda. She doesn't like that. No.
What is the kennel crate? Maybe you don't have it here.
It's a small prison. It may come to this, Gilda.
I don't think we have here near to my house.
What a prison? No, the prison comes to the house. It's like a little cage.
Okay. Yeah. I thought about that. Well, no, really. We had one in wood. My husband had one in wood, but it didn't work. He had part of it.
Of course, and that's the problem with making it out of wood, isn't it? The dog did, not the husband, right?
Just the dog.
Yeah. Okay. So it needs to be metal, doesn't it? And I think if I'd said this to you a month ago, you need to put him in a small prison made of iron inside your house in your living room when you go out. You'd have said, "Oh no, I cannot do that to my poor little Mandela. Look at him, he's so cute." This week, you're thinking, "Yes, where can I get one?" Behold, keeper of the likes, hit that like button right here, right now. 64 people watching and only 21 likes. Is this not Good Morning Portugal with Gilda? We can do better. Look at this, a pep talk from Chris. We can do better, everybody, much better. Yes, Coach Capricorn 12. Drop and give me 10 likes. Dog crate while you're away. Sharon has been moved to speak to you on this. She feels your pain, I suspect. Ha ha, Mandela the bear puppy. There he is. We gotta bring that on. Oh, Mandela the bear puppy. He's gonna have his own action figures and TV series soon on Portuguese TV. On Netflix. On Netflix soon, Mandela the bear puppy. Thanks for that, Stephen. Good morning to you. Oh, Antonio F. Not from Washington, DC, maybe in Portugal. What did Antonio F say? Oh, you can get a NIF and bank account in person without. You can do all of these things, can't you? But I think Suzanne was struggling there with it. And if you want some help, look no further. But of course, you can get these things yourself. But sometimes it's not that easy. Oh, look at this. This is a solution. Does Mandela need a partner to keep him preoccupied, or would that double the mischief? Can you imagine?
No, no way.
You don't want to go there, do you? I can tell. No. Gilda, dogs love to be in a crate or cage. They feel secure and calm down. Yes, that's what I tell my children. Not really, everybody. No one needs to get their panties in a bunch about that. Was a joke. Paul Harrison, Gilda, dogs love to be. They do love to be in a crate or cage. They feel secure and they calm down. Don't forget. Don't forget, sausage dogs live 17 years. Not entirely in a crate or cage, but it sounds like that is the way forward. Gilda, hi Gilda. Hey, look at this. Kate is back. How do we get an appointment? We haven't seen Kate for ages, right? Last thing I think she just got the hump with our wealth management guy Paul, and then wasn't seen for ages, and now she's back as if nothing ever happened. How do we get an appointment? Let's say that nothing ever happened. How do we get an appointment for family reunification now?
Okay, the last time that we talked with Seth, they told that they were going to open vacancies for May. So we are almost there.
Okay, yeah. But hello, Kate. By the way, great to have you back. So you just approach Seth and ask for your appointment, and then they'll, with any luck, you'll get one.
You need to call, but you need to call like, I'm not exaggerating, like 100 times.
They go 100 times.
Yeah.
100 times
until they answer the phone.
There you go. And appointments beginning again in May, by the sound of it. And do you need to be approved for a visa before you apply for the NIF and bank account? No, you got to do those bits first, haven't you, Gilda?
Yes.
Okay. Matty, this sounds like abandonment anxiety. It's getting worse, isn't it? We're trying to talk about migration and visas, and it's taken a dark turn with Mandela here. This sounds like abandonment anxiety. Maybe we need to get James back on. You should try to build up the time he is alone. Start with 5 minutes and praise him if he did behave. Then build up 10 minutes, 15, 30, 1 hour if he does not. What do you think? Have you got the time to do that?
I already did that.
Okay. And can you give us a demonstration of your praising voice? Because I think we need to appraise your praising voice just to see if it's working. And then after that, can you do your naughty boy voice for us?
No, I'm not going to do that.
I didn't think it was. Maybe an older, relaxed friend. Jimmy Choo's got an older, relaxed friend, old Peggy, but that hasn't really worked for him. I just think she looks at him and thinks, you are destroying our kennel again. You are an idiot. And he takes no notice whatsoever. I'm not sure if that's going to work there, Michelle. It doesn't work for Jimmy Choo. Behave. Take a step back, for example. Go from 1 hour back to 45 minutes or 30 minutes and so on. Is this for dealing with Seth or is this for Mandela now?
I think it's Mandela.
Right, okay. So there you go. You need your NIF and your bank account before you apply for a visa. Thanks, Rebel Mama, for stepping in there. Sorry about the bear. Treat training. Short time frame and build up. There you go. Yes, it's all about the training, isn't it? Just check the flight from Faro on on Sunday for what? One way, nearly 600. What the merry fiscal pricing policy is this? 600 United Kingdom pounds to fly from Faro. Look at that. Isn't that amazing?
From where to Faro? From Faro to where?
I have to explain it. Is that the cost of a flight? Is that one way from Faro, or do you do all your return flights from originating in Portugal? But you need to explain that because that's going to raise a few eyebrows, and we need to be clear on what that's actually about. Oh, China! We were going to talk about China as well, Gilda. I knew there was something. Joao F. Now I don't know whether you're serious or just toying with me. Perhaps your intention. You rascal, you. Don't know what's happening there. Okay, we'll leave Joao F and ELNL to sort that out while we take a very quick look at this. So we do have the situation in China where the PM wants to cooperate more with China. Let's just read through a little bit of this, and I want your thoughts on this, if you will, as somebody who deals with geopolitical matters every day, really, Gilda. Portugal wants more cooperation with China and vice versa. This was the message coming today at the virtual opening of the first Forum Macau to be held since 2016. That's a long time ago, isn't it? The last meeting having been postponed due to the pandemic. What? Oh, I see. Okay, so maybe they do them every 4 years and then it got cancelled in 2020. The declarations of Prime Minister Antonio Costa came during the opening ceremony of Forum under the theme, A World Without Pandemics, a Common Development. Who came up with that? The Equatorial Guinea being welcomed as a new official member. Representatives from Angola, Brazil, Cape Verde, Guinea-Bissau, Mozambique, São Tomé e Príncipe, East Timor, Portugal, and China discussed future cooperation, particularly in relation to the almost €1 billion. That's exciting, isn't it? The Sino-Lusophone Development Fund, announced in 2010. Said Diario de Noticias, Antonio Costa asked for a better management of the fund, more consequent in its rules and how it functions. Citing diplomatic relations and the friendship between Lisbon and Beijing, the PM defended that a recovery of economies hit by the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic and the invasion of Ukraine requires other stimuli and results, as well as the exploration of new opportunities. Now, can you bring us up to date on this, please, Gilda? What generally speaking are the Portuguese people's views on the relationship with China? Because I think the PM is taking a particular view on this, isn't it? He's all out. Let's work with China, and everyone else. You know, the former colonies are also involved in this now, by the sound of it. Do people on the street agree with this kind of, I was going to say gung-ho, which might not be the best thing to say in this particular instance, but what do people think about that here in Portugal?
I think that at the end of the day, what they want is more money from China. It's
as cynical as that, is it?
Yeah. And I'm going to explain you why. Because China gives a lot of money to Angola and Mozambique, because those were countries that were in war, and they gave lots of money, but they also control a lot of those countries. So it's not I don't think it would be, of course, that if he wants money from China, he should know that then China doesn't give money just out of the blue. They want to control something.
Yes.
So he's only seeing the good part of it, you know. He sees that in Angola they build they finance lots of buildings, lots of many things. But in Portugal, maybe he wants to do the same, but if China does the same with Portugal, they are going to ask for a payback. I think that's what this is about.
Okay.
On the other end, we must remember that the Chinese are the first ones on that investing on the Golden Visa program.
Yes, indeed. And this is an issue that many countries will be dealing with, how to manage their relationship with the Chinese government, of course, and the promise of money. And I suppose when you're a politician on short terms, although that's not true so much, is it, of Antonio Costa, because he is been in the role for some time now and entering a second term. But generally speaking, politicians can be quite short term, can't they, in their thinking? And it might be better to take the money and get people excited now and then let other people worry about the consequences a little bit further down the line.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And that's thank you for the backstory on that. That is a very interesting point, that of course, Chinese government and the Chinese, I suppose, the Chinese investment machinery, and a lot of money is being invested in Africa, isn't it, by the Chinese?
Yes.
I honestly don't like to use that phrase, the Chinese. It just seems such a ignorant thing to say, really. But I think within the realms of this conversation, I think you know what I mean. It isn't the Chinese, is it? It's the Chinese government and the people who have access to investing such vast amounts of money. Probably a tiny minority of Chinese people. Anyway, yes, from Antonio F. Thank you for that, Gilda. Your thoughts, folks, in the comments on the relationship between Portugal and China, and maybe your country of origin in China, unless, of course, your country of origin is China. You can do it during a test visit, advisable when you intend to move to a new country. That's from Antonio F. There, you can do your NIF and bank account when you're in the country. And, of course, you can get help from Gilda and team. Gilda with us every Monday from 9 o'clock until 10, answering migration questions. And I think we have another one here. Yes, from Chris. He was just buttering you up earlier on. We love you, Gilda. Now can you give me some news about the resident? Now can you give us some news on the residency cards on the mainland, please?
I don't have any news. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Pagan, is that a Portuguese word as well, pagan? Do you recognize it?
Yes.
Okay. Many Christian holidays were combined with existing pagan celebrations. Yes, of course. To make them acceptable to the locals. Yes, we know how this works, don't we? Christmas being a good one, and Halloween on December 25th. No, the Christians didn't co-opt Halloween, did they? Christmas on December 25th was chosen because it was the celebration of the sun god. Yes, the solstice, of course. Thank you for that, Rebel Mama. Xenophobia. That's what you were saying earlier on, wasn't it, Gilda? From Tony. Yeah. A fear of strangers. There you go. Thank you very much, Tony. And thanks for introducing yourself here, Tony Menendez. Thank you very much for that. Does Hyperfund work the same way like crypto? I don't know the answer to that. Do you, Gilda? I think that might be one for Big Boy Crypto Pants or for Sam Nazare there.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to say thank you, Helen. Helen's here, everybody. Look, just wanted to say a huge thank you to Marianne Sato at A for arranging our visas. Amazing service, very thorough. We are now here and looking to establish our family roots in this beautiful country.
Oh, thank you.
There's another celebration there. I couldn't recommend A more highly. Thank you. Superb. Pagan 2. Just a movie. Pagan 2, the movie. Just when you thought it was safe to go out and celebrate Easter bunnies and eggs, spring and fertility rites. Thank you for that decoding there. Very good. Question for Gilda from Jeff. Morning, Jeff. Great to have you here. Are there any areas, regions of the country easier to find? Yes, great question. What's going on here, Gilda? Update on this, please. The increasingly difficult to find 12 months.
It's going crazy. It's going crazy.
But are there any regions, areas of the country easier to find this 12-month tenancy? than other areas. Where would you say is the best place to find somewhere now? In the north?
Yes, in the north, like Braga, Guimarães, Vila Nova de Famalicão, yeah, maybe in the north, and also in Alentejo. But maybe Alentejo is a little bit more isolated. You don't want to go there. So
unless it's isolation you seek, where the birds where the birds fly backwards. Now, João, can you tell us that Alentejo joke again? Because now seems to be the moment. Was it you? I think last time we made that fantastic Alentejo joke. Can we hear it again? Because I was trying to remember it and I couldn't. It would be great. Look at this from João. Love your mood today. Keep going. How about that's nice, isn't it? And look at the ticker tape, the crypto ticker tapes in. Last 7 days, Bitcoin was down 8.59%, Ethereum down 9.49. The hodlers will say, hold on to it and buy more because it will be going up again. That is not advice from me. I'm just saying that's what they might say. Carl, check WhatsApp for Mandela's play date. Do we want to see the play date, Gilda? I think we do.
You can send me afterwards.
This could be a lot of fun, and they would make some pretty. Well, would make some pretty awesome babies. That's the thing that we're talking about here. I don't know if that's what he means by playmate, but this could be a lot of fun. And I would watch a video of these two having a little run around the park together. I really would. Can you see Mandela on a play date with Andy's dog here, Alpha? That's just coming onto the screen now. Thank you very much for this, Andy. What do you reckon?
He's too big.
Do you think so? Would you be scared for your little Mandela getting trodden
No,
on?
no, actually not, because he likes big dogs. He likes to play.
The little dogs do that. Thank you, Andy, for that. They do. The little ones seem to have no fear whatsoever, and put lots of treats in with him. Oh, they're treats that are not being worked for. What do the dog psychologists think of that? Thank you, Michelle. Bon dia, better late than never. Bally's here. How you doing? I have to say, a little bit of feedback here. I have to say that dealing with the London consulate is never fun. Can take forever to get an appointment or response. But once you actually meet a person, they are always lovely. Isn't that nice to know? Thank you very much. The London consulate, for those folks who might be using it to move to Portugal from the UK, which you have to do now on your D7 visa or whatever means you choose. We had a dog who considered his kennel his space. Don't go in there. I think is the moral of the story here. He would go in it when he wanted to be left alone, like to nap uninterrupted. Do you know what? I felt that. I went into the chicken enclosure on my white plastic chair as is de rigueur in the garden, and I felt very comfortable in the little chicken coop that I've made. And I thought to myself, there's something about humans, isn't there? That you like making a den at any age. We like to make dens, and I think that's probably the same sort of doggy sort of urge and instinct there that I experienced myself. Gilda, remember the movie Jaws? You just get a cage like the one they used to stay safe.
Ah, yeah.
What Mandela be banging his nose against it. The way I see it, you are the one who must. The cage is for the dog, not for Gilda. Good morning, Portugal.
But you know what? What? In South Africa, they have this thing where you go in the cage to see the sharks, and I always wanted to do that.
Well, okay, maybe when we the next whip round we have for you, and a collective thank you to be getting Gilda, jumping the shark, as it were. Good morning, Portugal. Netflix Club. OMG. Watched Top Boy over 3 days. Binged watched. It was so gripping. Rebel Mama, I think you will love this, starring Ashley Waters from the So Solid crew. Got 21 seconds to go. We've got a bit longer than that. We've got 7 minutes to go here. Good morning from IMUC. I'm a Canadian. What is that? It's like conjunctivitis or something, isn't it? Good morning. I am a Canadian who also has a Portuguese citizenship. I'm planning on relocating to Portugal. And I was wondering when I need to change my tax residency from Canada to Portugal. Good question, IMUC. What would you say there, Gilda?
Okay, so when you move to Portugal, you have 6 months to change your tax residency to Portugal.
Oh. I was just taking a drink there. I thought that was going to be a longer answer, but no. Gilda's dealt with that, IMUC. There you go. Mandela is insecure, has separation anxiety. Buy the proper crate.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go. Place an item of your clothing in it. It might be destroyed or serve as comfort and toys. Yes, don't put your best coat in there with him. Reward Mandela for going in the kennel. There you go. Can you go to a SEF office and ask for an appointment on site? Asked Sarah. I was thinking I might be harder to ignore if I was standing right there. Yes, indeed. In maybe a sort of cosplay outfit. You know, some sort of superhero who goes into what do you think about that? Does it help to go in person?
Well, I have like 95 of the people that went there, they said just call this number, okay? But some people that went there managed to talk, or they said that they wouldn't leave without getting an appointment. They were really resilient and they got an appointment. 5%
okay.
from all years that I've been working with. So I don't think, maybe it's worth trying. It's
worth a try. Yeah. You get to the point where you try anything and it might be worth a try. But yeah, you've got to keep making those phone calls as well, haven't you? Rebel Mama. Oh, saw the Netflix thing you're talking about, Chris. I'll definitely watch it. I love Netflix binging, says Rebel Mama. Such a great way to waste my limited time on Earth. Yes, he is right. Google separation anxiety. I think that's right. But of course, somebody had to say this, didn't they? He's got his own song. Gilda, can you enclose the puppy in a room when we've already tried that, haven't we?
Yeah, I already tried it. That's when he tried to destroy the door.
Yep, that's when he hulked out and became a bear. Dog training is a long process and requires much consistency and repetition. Oh, and it needs to be fun. It's the same for us, isn't it? Us humans. For the dog and preferably the human too. There you go. Almost 600 one way. Look at this, Gilda, from Faro to London Gatwick. One way, I tell you, says Chris. I have to say again, like Fred Elliott from Coronation Street, 600 one way. I nearly fainted at the keyboard. That's one way of hitting the like button.
Stay in Faro. Why are you going away? Stay in Faro.
Simple solution. I have often recommended to people not sure about having a child to own a puppy to maturity first, then multiply the challenge by infinity. Yeah, no one listens to that sort of advice. So today, we'll get a puppy, it'll be fine. Portugal wants more cooperation with the second largest economy in the world, shocker. In other news, I want to see, all right, Prof, let's work with the UK and get back into the the EU, or at least ease the 90-day rule. Yes, I wonder. Mandela loves Gilda family so much that he goes crazy when alone. Simple as that. Don't give up on a kid that loves you so. That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, that's true.
Live crypto conversation. Carl and Gilda playing catch up now after a Teams talk. Well, do you want to come on, big boy crypto pants? Just how big are your big boy crypto pants? Dare you come on and explain to us the whole thing and answer Rebel Mama's question, among many others, I'm sure. Should we hold it? Should we sell it? Should we buy it? Why are all these different coins available? Unlike the USA and EU, who give money without any expectation of a return. Okay, yeah, fair play, Prof. Gilda, a person that understands value, risk, and reward. You are so right. China has visited Terceira Azores at least 3 times. They want to buy the land our American military base is on. Donna says this, and also our port for scientific research. What could possibly go wrong? By the way, Carl, the price of gold fluctuates. Oh, like every other commodity. She always does this to me. It hasn't had a fixed price since the beginning of the 1970s when Nixon was president. However, what I've heard about gold, Kate, is that it pretty much buys the same thing. What is it they say? You could buy a suit with it 100 years ago, and now for the same amount, you can still buy a suit with it. Of course, it fluctuates, but in some sense, it holds its value, doesn't it? Better than other assets, which is what I was getting at. There's no such thing as a free lunch. I knew I shouldn't have got into geopolitical affairs here. As a free lunch, whenever China gives money to some country, that country usually becomes just another owner's hostage. But what do you do? Andrew Festivus. Christmas is Saturnalia. Look at this, all these pagans.
We didn't talk about Easter.
I thought you nailed it. You said we eat cute creatures, and I thought that was all there was to say on it. Go on, carry on.
No, No, I don't like. They eat little lambs and they eat little goats. They are so cute. I refuse to eat them.
Okay, well, fair enough. And thank you for sharing that and saying that, declaring that publicly now. So you you draw the line at a chocolate bunny and not the real thing. Okay, very good. The many beautiful faces of Gilda with so much wonderful knowledge, and there was some of it, everybody. Okay, yes, here now we've got a lot of comments to do in 1 minute. Seinfeld actually never watched the program, but Festivus has transcended into popular culture. Very interesting. Thank you. So many themes running at the moment here in this conversational thread here. I believe this 12-month lease requirement may be the Portugal's government's effort to suss out those cash-only, no-lease tax-evading landlords. Well, it will help with that for sure. Like I just said, always follow the money. Yeah, I don't know if it's a strategy, but it will do that, won't it? Anyway, really, says Chris. Watching, there are 73 people watching and only 36 likes. Carl, hit the trigger alert. Dive. Periscope up. Full ahead. Is it just me or is everyone a bit giddy this morning? Full ahead at 20 knots, heading 26 degrees towards Portugal. Go get those likes. I don't think I've made that video yet, but or did I? Have I made that video? Let me just see if I have got that somewhere. Hit the like button. It is this one, isn't it?
Insanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
You could be really radical and hit the like button even if you don't like what you're seeing. In an upside down kind of way. Oh, Alder's here as well. Look, according to the census, the largest proportion of the population in Sydney is now from Asia. The majority are from China. There are shopping centres where you go and it's all written in Mandarin. Exciting times. I will be covered in slobber later. Okay. Gilda, oh, that's because of Alpha. Gilda, I just screamed no about the shop. Okay. She doesn't want you in there. Gilda, what happens? Okay. We're all over the place. Come out of the shark cage and answer another question. Gilda, what happens if after 6 months a person has not changed their tax residency? Is there a penalty?
No, it doesn't, but it's mandatory by law. And if you don't do it, the tax authorities may consider that you were a tax resident before. And in theory, if you, when you submit your tax return, they can suppose that you were a tax resident when you were in the country more than 6 months. So I strongly advise you that after being here for 6 months, you change.
Okay, excellent stuff. So I've got more. Okay, there you go. That's the thing to do. Thank you very much, Gilda, for that. And I'll have to get to your WhatsApp contributions tomorrow now, folks. But look at this, coming back to Sarah. We tried to get an appointment at Steph in person. The guy on the door just laughed at us. So there's an answer of a kind for you. Little Mandela looked at the door and thought to himself, it always seems impossible until it's done. Tearing it apart. Good luck training, Mandela. It will take a long time. Excuse me. Start very small. Just stand outside for 1 minute, then try again and again. Gradually build up the time. Use rewards, but not Easter eggs. Dogs cannot have chocolate. I don't think that one's faster, is it? Oh, gold has nothing about it. Oh, Kate's putting me right again. And me comments are really slow to come onto the screen. The show is sitting up. Carl, gold has nothing special about it. It's just metal traded in the commodity markets. And suits for men can cost anything from cheap to thousands of dollars. She's not gonna let me get away with that, is she? Definitely not. Sydney was like that 20 years ago. What's that? A Mandarin mole. And Victoria's here. Hello, bon dia, kids. Have a great Monday. Thank you for that. That's a great note to end on, of course. Can dogs travel on trains and buses in Portugal? Wife wants to bring Millie as well as me. Well, that's very nice of her. She wants to bring the dog as well as the husband. That's great news. And we will end it there as Gilda answers that question for us. Not about migration. Well, kind of, I suppose. It's dogs on the move. Public transport, would you take Mandela on the bus or the train? And are you allowed to, Gilda, here in Portugal?
I'm not sure. I never did it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you can. I think you can take dogs, but actually, we will return to that. I'll find out for tomorrow. Consumer Tuesday tomorrow. Let's do that. Let's talk about buying the arts and crafts of artists, independent artists, and helping them make a living tomorrow on Consumer Tuesday, as well as whether you can take your pets on the train. And I think I'm going to go and ask that question over.
I cannot handle him at home. How can I take him on a bus or on the train?
Can you imagine the cost? How much you'll have to compensate CP if he lays waste to a train carriage? Yes, it's just too risky at the moment until he's trained. Oh, one quickie, wafer thin migration question. Does having your NHR mean you have your tax residency, or are these two different things? From Ron. Thank you, Ron.
There are two different things.
They are two different things, Ron. Check with EI. Check anybody who's got outstanding questions, please. Will you check out EI on our business directory? Go to expatsportugal.com/business-directory. Gilda, you've been amazing today. What an interesting show it's been. And we leave with the question, why does it matter?
I had to compensate because of the last one.
Yes, excellent value. Why does it matter? We'll leave this hanging here. Why does it matter whether Australia is full of Asian or Portugal is full of Anglo-Saxons? It's a good question. We will leave it dangling there. And for anyone who isn't thinking all the time, they can now and ponder that particular question. Gilda, thank you so much. Love to you and all the team. And we'll see you next Monday.
Have a good Easter.
And look at this final question. Somebody with a picture of a cat called My Dog Smells. Another great show. Thank you very much indeed. All right. And have a great Easter. Yes, of course. Easter will be celebrated next weekend here in Portugal, right?
Yeah.
And how do we say that? For those living here who don't know how to say Happy Easter yet, could you finally just tell them how to do that, please, Gilda?
Boa Páscoa. Boa Páscoa a todos.
Excellent. Ciao for now. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.